One change from the weekend team. Gary Metcalf comes up into the side, replacing Tony Rampling. And for those people following the match on their television guides, either through the Telegraph Herald, Sun or Mirror, Charlie Frith and Gary Hambley have switched their numbers around. Their coach is Bill Anderson. As you can see in the background, the Rabbitohs are on the ground, limbering up, ready for what should be one super game of rugby league. Coming to you in the Tooth Cup second semi-final after this. So the stage is set now for the second semi-final under the control of referee John Gosher. The Rabbits, with it all in front of them, following their loss on Saturday, and this man had a very big part in the second half in the Manly victory, Graham Eadie. Mark Ross, a kicking duel to start this second semi-final. Steve Walsh now. And a very enthusiastic Manly tackle. In fact, 5 of them played a part in it. Murray. That's Nathan Gibbs. Boyd's got it for Manly. Broadhurst on the halfway line. Dorahy. Booth. Good run by Simon Booth. Davis. An ominous run by Manly for the South Sydney supporters here at Leichhardt tonight. Broadhurst standing very wide. Good tackle by Squadrito. That's Boyd. Right in centre ground. That's the quarterway line, south end of the field. Ray Brown. Brown. Turning it back for a luckless John Gibbs on that occasion, and a very lucky Souths on the other side of the coin.
Yes, it certainly was, and Souths will have to watch that dummy half running, because Brown really split them open then, and it was a miracle that the pass was intercepted by South Sydney.
Nathan Gibbs now. Hambley. Welsh. Eadie. Davis. Manly looking very sharp in the opening 2 minutes of this game. A couple of devastating breaks. Eadie looking for work. Brown. Thompson. Beautiful pick-up, Dorahy. And beats his centre opponent, Simpkins. This is Vaughton. Manly looking very good. Explosive start for the Eagles. Gibbs. Thompson to Boyd. Booth. Hit by Brennan. All in all. Now Broadhurst. Ooh, Charlie Frith in number 11. A shoulder charge and a bone-crunching tackle. That's his trademark. And he's left it firmly on Broadhurst. Dorahy. Stepping beautifully. Jowett to play it. Brown. What a start by the Eagles. Oh, Eadie, a beautiful piece of ball work, and Les Boyd has scored the opening try. What a beautiful piece of football by Manly, and in particular by Graham Eadie. That was a super try. What a start by Manly. They've come out running. They've almost picked up where they left off at Redfern. Watch this piece of football by Eadie. He only had it on his fingertips, and he, in one sweeping motion, swept a flick pass back on the inside to Boyd.
Yes, well, it's certainly been an explosive opening, and Ray Brown has certainly put his stamp on the game very early, hasn't he? Look, he's opened up South Sydney again on that occasion. A perfectly timed pass out to Eadie, flick back inside to Boyd, and the first points on the board. And I don't think anyone at Leichhardt Oval is surprised with that anyhow, because Manly have just simply carved holes in this South Sydney side in the opening 5 minutes. Brilliant football.
Graham Eadie attempting conversion of the try scored ultimately by Les Boyd, in which he had a very big part, and so too, as Keith said, did Ray Brown. There's the try scorer, Les Boyd, Australian international, probably one of the most feared men in rugby league. Great player. Here's Eadie from out near the 10-metre line. 1,942 points. He scored all up for the Manly club. Just 58 short of 2,000. Now he's still 58 short of 2,000. I thought it was sweet. But Manly lead 3-0, and I don't think I'm overemphasizing what a start it's been. You've seen it all, captured by 10 sports cameras. And as I said, they came out running, Manly. Here's the start of the game really in replay, but Walsh has decided to run it. And this Manly defence swarming in.
Well, obviously, if Eadie's going to put the ball back and Walsh is going to be left in his own, this is going to happen all the time. And I was surprised that the South Sydney players, and the outside backs in particular, didn't get back to help him. But here's a break by Nathan Gibbs.
Yes, 10 metres into Manly territory. Hambley. There goes Stewart. Tries to turn it. That ball's still alive. Peter Tunks. That's Mitch Brennan. Souths. 12 metres out now from the Manly line. Charlie Frith. Gary Metcalf. Manly swarming in, but referee Gosha has picked up an illegality and called out Fred Teasdale.
I think Ray Ritchie indicated in his pre-match statements that Manly were going to attempt to play the game out in the back line, and certainly there's a tremendous amount of pace there, and they're certainly obeying Ritchie's instructions in the opening 5 or 6 minutes. They have been helped by some slipshod South Sydney defence that coach Billy Anderson would have been far from happy with.
I'm surprised at the way this crowd has swollen. Virtually in the last 20 minutes, it has increased dramatically. There's some of the crowd on the hill on the scoreboard side, and the Latcham Robinson stand is certainly housing plenty of people tonight, including the Cronulla team here in Toto with coach Greg Pearce, to watch their opponents for next Sunday, Manly, and their possible cup final opponents at the same time. Manly, I mean. Bad kick by Mark Ross. Teasdale. Brown. He's grabbed this first great opportunity tonight in the first 8 minutes, and already the signal is there that he's going to make it hard for Max Krilich to come back. Boyd putting it down. I think he's recaptured. He has, and so a scrum.
He should have come out earlier.
Gibbs. Mooney just taking a touch of the load off the forwards, but I thought he'd lost it. No, it's still with Manly. Just out from the quarter line, centre ground, Manly's end. Broadhurst. Gibbs. Eadie. Steve Walsh calling Mark Ross around him. Walsh again, the recipient of a 4-man Manly tackle. Squadrito. The match almost 10 minutes old. and still free of a scrum. Charlie Frith. Murray. Gibbs has been dangerous. Tunks played for the state of New South Wales in the recent match against Queensland. This is the last. Murray, Niscott. Oh, yes.
Good step, wasn't it, to get away from Mooney?
Certainly was. He stood Mooney up and went round him. And so the first scrum of the match. Just out from the Manly 22.
Very strong play in this.
Scrum, is it? Sorry.
Very strong play in this, Scott, and I'll be surprised if Billy Anderson looks to introduce him into this back line coming in from the blind side of these scrums and locks. He's got a good step off either foot and a very powerful runner.
Edie. And the tap will be taken just a couple of metres on the Manly side of halfway. Right in front of the Leichhardt Oval scoreboard. Mooney. Quarter time tonight. Keith will be talking to, as I indicated in the preview, a man with a great knowledge of motivation in sport and in business, Ron Barassi. Squadrito holding down the 5/8 berth whilst Mike Patterson is indisposed. Charlie Frith basically wasting a tackle there. Now Murray. Metcalf. Murray again. Tunks. Next Wednesday, Cup final night. As usual, all the excitement, the pageantry, if you like, and it certainly will be a colourful night, let me assure you. And we'll have all the usual giveaways here at the ground for patrons coming in through the gates with lucky program numbers and what have you. I'll tell you more about it later, but it will be a very colourful Cup final night next Wednesday. Cronulla versus question mark at the moment for $100,000 big dollars. Gibbs. 3-0 to Manly. Thompson. Graham Eadie. Dorahy. They've opened them up. Berg. Davis. Into touch. Tackler Mark Ross. Just get the feeling that the Souths were a little bit shell-shocked, Keith, if I can use that word, with the Manly opening.
Well, it's not surprising, is it? Because they did open at a great rate. But I've just got the idea that Manly are directing a lot of their attack out in the three-quarter line at Mitch Brennan. And they've been able to get around Brennan on a couple of occasions. His defence has been found wanting.
Walsh. Metcalf. Good football, Gary Metcalf. Tunks. He has to hurdle the fallen Metcalf before being tackled by Alan Thompson. Charlie Frith. Broadhurst tackle, head on. Here's Murray. Former Parramatta player, now Squadrito. He's away from Brown. That's Walsh. Up to the 22. Ross. Ran into Squadrito. Ooh. Took a couple of very heavy hits. Hambley. Touch judge going in. This will be, I think, a swinging arm in that tackle on Mark Ross. Although it certainly wasn't this man that let it go. Stuart Davis. Slender winger, Davis. He's very slightly built, but his record's all right. Now, watch Gosha's ruling here. Watch his signal if we can. See the wave of the arm? That's the new signal that came out of the international meeting to indicate to the spectators that it's a differential penalty. Mark Ross finding the touchline 2 meters inside the Manly quarter. 3-0 Manly. 5 minutes of first quarter to go. Murray, Squadrito, Murray, Tunks. No gain. Borton the tackler. Murray. Brennan. No, it's not to Brennan, it's Simpkins. Chunky little centre. Here's Metcalf. And from east to south. Now Henley. Nathan Gibbs will score for South. Wide out. Good try. Well set up. It's not the first time we've seen a rehearsed try from South work like a well-oiled machine. We saw one here in their quarter-final win. Keith Barnes.
Yes, well, this was also a well-rehearsed move, and full marks here to Hambley, the way he positions Nathan Gibbs into the opening. Some bad defence there. Ray Brown was one culprit, and Nathan Gibbs had enough pace to run away from Graham Eadie, a top try, and one that South Sydney needed. But they have overcome that early setback in the initial 5 minutes when Manly threw everything at them and came up with that top try. And now the stage is set for a real thriller from here on in, because that'll do tremendous things for their confidence. They needed that try to get back into the game. They've levelled the scores, and the way they did it would certainly give them a tremendous boost.
A little South Sydney rabbit. Mark Ross. A bad attempt earlier. It's getting away. So the scoreline is 3 points all in the 1981 Tooth Cup second semi-final. And in fact, there is one of their key products, the Tooth People, the Cold Gold, which will go down all right after this one, I would imagine. Maybe with a dark rum chaser with the flu I've got, might burn it out of me. Steve Walsh, no knock on. That's Mark Ross. Ross is a funny goal kicker. He can start dreadfully sometimes, but then he's likely to get back on his game very quickly. Manly ball on the South 22 line. Boyd, he's positioned Eadie into a gap. 12 metres out. Boyd again. Look at the thighs on this man when he gets up. Bigger than Johnny Gibbs, just one of his legs. Gibbs now. Broadhurst. Charlie Frith hit him hard from behind, but it's still Manly's ball. Referee Gosha has said you were on the ground and held and you passed. Now, a tackle constitutes many things, but the operative word is that a hand had been placed on Brown. The player in question may not have looked as though he'd made an orthodox tackle, but he had placed a hand on him. Robert Simpkins, you see the number 4? And that's enough to constitute a tackle, and then Ray Brown was it who passed, and so the penalty went to South. Just thought I'd try and elaborate a little bit on that. Some people may have thought that he was entitled to do what he did. Charlie Frith now. 3-all scoreline. The Eagles and the Rabbits in the second semi of the Tooth Cup. Tunks, up he goes, the big man, to the halfway. Here's Simpkins. Good tackle, Manly. Let's pick him out for you. Warren Jowett was one, Boyd the other. Here's Squadrito, dancing, looking for the opening. Keith Barnes talks to Ron Barassi at quarter time as this scrum prepares to pack down just 60 seconds from that break. Half time, I'll be talking to Illawarra secretary, the new Illawarra club in 1982, Bob Millwood, and his newly appointed coach, Alan Fitzgibbons. That's our half-time interview as Eadie links up with the back line. Dorahy in front of the scoreboard, a metre his own side of halfway. Thompson. Booth. 3 points all. It appears will be the scoreboard readout when we take this break. Oh, Charlie Frith almost changing that. He's still Mayhew. Murray to Brennan. Five seconds out. Niscott. And there it is. First 20 minutes, I think you'd agree, probably one of the more exciting 20 minutes of rugby league we've seen this year. Okay. Second quarter about to get underway. John Gosher just holding the kickoff as the marching girls from South and Manly file from the arena. Repeating the scoreline, 3-all. Manly and South both scoring good tries in the first quarter. Penalties read out at 3-1 to South. The scrums at 3-1 to Manly. This is Alan Thompson, a man of whom Bill Anderson, the South coach, has the highest admiration. Warren Jowett just out from the 22. Vaughton didn't play on Saturday. He was one of many people stricken with the virus. Boyd, he popped it. Teasdale tried to take it. Tunks now. Henley. Murray, Squadrito. Gibbs has put it down. Boyd's put it back. And the referee is ruling that both sides knocked on. Yes, it can. And touch judge in to make a report. At this time, it's appropriate that we take you back to the sidelines to Keith Barnes. He's with Manly coach Ray Ritchie.
Yes, Ray. Well, how did you see the first 20 minutes?
It was very hard. I thought it'd be in the forwards. I planned to play it in the forwards there for a while, and I think that we've got the better backs. We'll start swinging it out now, Keith, and if we can get some ball from these scrums. They're running one off the half, and if we can get some ball, then we'll start moving the ball about, because I think we're an infinitely better back line.
Yes, well, you made a couple of breaks through the forwards, particularly in the dummy half with Ray Brown. He created a great opportunity for that first try.
Yes, he did, but it was good work by Les Boyd and good work by Brown to turn the ball back to him.
You're getting possession from the scrums, but there was a bit of weakness in your defence, particularly, although it was a well-rehearsed move when Hambley put Nathan Gibbs in, wasn't it?
It was a well-rehearsed, but I thought that we should have tackled. You know, he should have been tackled. There was plenty of time to get to him. He's a very dangerous man, Nathan Gibbs.
Did you give them any instructions for the second quarter?
If we get some ball, I want to throw it about. I want to throw it to the outside men, Keith.
OK, Ray, thanks very much for your time and good luck for the rest of the game.
Thanks, Keith.
South now attacking on the Manly 22. Steve Walsh held there and parcelled up by Vaughton and Teasdale. Charlie Frith. They'd be 18 metres out now, South. Murray, Squadrito, Metcalf on the burst. Safely held. Right in centre ground. That's the 22 line. Stewart. 26-year-old veteran. Murray. Brennan. Still going and pops it up there for a try by Joe Squadrito. Wacky-do. Manly should, I feel, have put Brennan down. If not twice, at least on the first occasion. They should have got him. Brennan was made to look like a colossus. Through a gap, beating one, pushing off Paul Vaughton, and standing in Edie's tackle to give it to Squadrito. Oh, a couple of Manly players bad in defence there. Edie is on the ground injured. Let's see it head on. But let's have a look at these Manly players beaten. Les Boyd and Paul Vaughton. Bad defence. Full marks to Brennan. But Eadie has hurt himself in that tackle. Now let's take that camera down onto Graham Eadie. They've called for a stretcher. It's his bad knee, I think. I think it's that knee. He's indicated the stretcher. He wants it away. Let's get the kick and come back to Graham. Successful, and the Rabbits lead by 8 points to 3. And it is that knee of Graham Eadie's, the one that has kept him out for a greater part of this year. He's put the operation off, wanting to be part of this Manly fight for the 1981 semi-finals. Steve Martin goes on. I just trust that that isn't the last we're going to see of Graham Eadie. I mean, in rugby league, it worries me, a big man like him with a knee injury that he's got. What a great player he's been. He's in a lot of pain there too.
Yes, he certainly is, and he shouldn't have been in the position to have to take that tackle, should he? Because there was some bad defence by two Manly players when Brendan made the initial break. But great comeback by South Sydney now, and gee, their confidence is sky high at the moment. Probably mainly fortunate that they've got a player of the calibre of Steve Martin to bring into the centres, where he's had a tremendous amount of experience, and they're able to put John Doherty back to fullback.
Boyd now. Jowett came from Newcastle to the Eagles. Broadhurst. Manly 8 metres out. Trailing 8-3. Boyd, the big man, held and put down by Gary Metcalf. That was a good tackle. It just had to be made, that tackle. A chip from Gibbs, taken by Tunks.
Bad chip there, because it was nowhere. It was a nothing kick, really, because he kicked straight to two South Sydney players. There was no height to enable him to get under the ball either.
Gibbs. Squadrito. Joe Cool or John Doherty has fallen back to full back. He's away from Brennan, stands in the tackle of Squadrito. This is Mooney. Well, they got to get a penalty.
Yes, they had to, didn't they?
As I mentioned earlier, the tradition of ground prizes at the Tooth Cup final will again be on next week with 13 lucky spectators, 13 with lucky numbers on their programs winning some great prizes from National Panasonic and Eastaway Air Conditioning. From National Panasonic, we'll have colour televisions, cassette radios, clock radios, and from Eastaway Air Conditioning, a magnificent room air conditioner. All this and more next Wednesday during the playing of the 1981 Tooth Cup final for you, the spectators here at the ground. Simon Booth. Pardon me. Oh, Steve Martin knows he's been tackled. Stewart was the tackler. Boyd, Gibbs, Broadhurst. Manly keeping the kettle boiling. There's Steve Martin on the inside for a Manly touchdown. Good lead-up work by Boyd. He wasn't put down. He wasn't harnessed. Steve Martin's only been on there 2 minutes. Mark Broadhurst plays a big part in this try. Former Australian fullback Keith Barnes talks about it.
Yes, well, full marks to both Boyd and Broadhurst. He was able to keep the ball alive, and Johnny Gibbs chimed in there too. And he's got great anticipation, Martin. You would expect it that the ball was going to go out the outside on the open side of the field, but he saw that the opportunity was there. And to Broadhurst's credit too, he turned it back in a perfect pass, and that came somewhat against the run of play, because I thought South Sydney were in control, but you know, we've got a real cliffhanger, haven't we?
I'm just wondering how much of an effect Fred Teasdale had in that try. He was the player walking around with his arms up. I don't necessarily think that pardons anyone from being classified as an obstruction. I still don't think it helped the South defence.
No, I thought what actually helped the lead-up work to the try was a decision by Ray Brown when about 3 plays earlier, when he neglected to turn the ball back infield just before Steve Martin got upended, because I thought he was going to continue along the open side of the field where the opportunity was.
There's the equaliser from Dorahy, taking the point off the top of the bar.
It only just got there, didn't it?
8 points all. 8 points all in the second semi-final of the Tooth Cup.
Well, that's good news, good and bad news, I suppose, for Manly fans, but the injury that Graham Eadie suffered is a new one, and ligament damage, and not the trouble that he had with his bad knee. So, as I say, it's good news and bad news.
The same knee, though.
Apparently, yes, but not the same injury.
Thompson. Boyd. Gordon. Broadhurst. Whoa. Brown. Going across the ground, picking up Thompson onto Martin. A quick ball to Booth. Mooney's coming up on the right. Booth stepping it out. 15 metres into South territory.
Gee, that was a good pass by Steve Martin then to put Booth through.
What about the one from Thompson?
Yes, but Steve Martin, he only had a fraction of a second to sum up the situation, and you know, if he'd have taken it a yard further, the opportunity wasn't there, but he positioned himself and positioned Booth perfectly.
Talking of Alan Thompson, Keith, Bill Anderson made a comment on Saturday in the dressing rooms at Redfern. You know, we give Man of the Match awards. I gave mine to Bruce Walker. I was on the brink of giving it to Graham Eadie. And asked who he thought Manly's best was. He said, oh, Alan Thompson. You know, nobody else saw Alan Thompson, but Bill Anderson did.
Well, he's a great team player. I've been a real Alan Thompson fan for years, but I don't think he's really played or displayed his best form for the first half of the season anyhow with Manly, but he's certainly back to his best at this particular stage, and he's a player that Manly desperately needs to be at his best.
Look at this. Charlie Frith.
Yes, but yes.
Charlie Frith lost about 20 metres in that tackle. What a couple of Manly players didn't know who were driving him back was that he'd unloaded the ball and Souths were going in the other direction. So it's Hambley getting up to play it. 8 points all in the Cup second semi-final. Simpkins calling Ross on the inside. Knocked down by Manly. 6 more to go. Ross in possession for South now. They've got to fan this ball wide fast, but Metcalf has taken it up the centre. To the left and fast was the right play. Murray. Tunks. Walsh. Taken by Broadhurst, just out from the Manly 22. Murray. Brennan. 7 minutes of the second quarter remain. Murray. Squadrito. Gibbs. Hit by Vorton. And by Warren Jow. The last for Souths. Inside the 5 against the attacking team.
No, it's a bad rule.
Oh, I know it's a bad rule, but it's in the book. Nothing he can do about it, that man, John Gosher.
No, but we can have a lot of fun if they persevere with it and repeatedly penalise the team that's inside the attacking team that's inside the 5.
That's what worries me, you know, the number of times you could probably pinch a team for being inside the 5, win an attack.
It's a bad kick.
Martin taking the kick. Ross takes it back. Away from Martin. Chased by Les Boyd. Away from Boyd. Simpkins on the flat. Did well to get rid of the ball to Brennan. Brennan gets a pass to Niscott. Niscott bumps off one. And he's tackled 15 metres out. Oh, this is really exciting league now. Manly again on the defence. Charlie Frith hammering away at the Manly forwards. 8 points all. Murray, Squadrito. Gibbs is coming fast. He's picked up Gibbs. 8 metres out. Right in front of the uprights. Ken Stewart goes to dummy half. Murray on the right. That's him. Murray's popped the pass round the corner for Steve Walsh. And Mark Russell score. Yes. Beautiful try by the Rabbits. Graham Murray's pass was a gem.
It certainly was, wasn't it?
Oh, this is turning out to be some sort of a game. Watch this pass from Graham Murray. Down, he ducked under them, popped a pass around, and Steve Walsh said, I'm in the clear. And then Mark Ross does a bit of a foxtrot, a Canadian three-step, and puts it down.
Yeah, so what a position Mark Ross was in that particular situation there, because just hark and think back to the penalty that Manly received when Steve Martin missed the lane and Mark Ross accepted the ball very, very thankfully, took off across field and evaded Martin's tackle. And then, of course, it all ended with Ross again taking the final pass to score in the corner after a couple of play the balls on the other side of the field.
Manly behind the goal line in a huddle. Alan Thompson dressing them down.
Yes, well, that was certainly a fun...
Mark Ross, he's got this. Just, oh no, it's fallen short. You'd love to be betting in running or betting in flight. South 11, Manly 8. He's only kicked 1 out of 4. There's the young Bow Desert High School side watching this second semi. They played Fairfield Pats earlier tonight. I think it'll be fair tonight to give the result to our Queensland viewers. They were beaten by Fairfield Pats. But that's not any great thing to feel ashamed about, because Fairfield Pats are a brilliant team. And these boys, I'm told, have only played, what, 5 league games? They don't play in a competition up there at all. So when they do get home, don't feel so bad about it. They acquitted themselves very well against Fairfield Pats, and an all Aboriginal backline, I'm told. Good luck to them. You've had a bet at Bow Desert before tonight, haven't you? Oh, hello. Doesn't want to talk to me.
I don't know who you're talking to.
Bow Desert Races. Tunks now. Scrum 15 metres on south side of halfway. Good game of league this, Keith.
It's a crackerjack game, yes, and we've seen 5 tries in the first 40 minutes of football, and they've all been great ones.
Walsh.
Oh, gee.
Walsh. Pulled down by Thompson. Gibbs. Squadrito. Quick ball to Simpkins. 3 points. South's in front. Frith. Murray cuts out Hambley. That's Metcalf. Oh, Manly are not putting the man down with the ball.
No, but this is a top South Sydney pack of forwards, and they're giving Manly plenty of headaches in there.
Tunks. Vorton burrowing in the tackle. He's lost it. And a scrum. Gee, John Goshi was lucky to see that. My mind flashed back to Hartley and Easts and Wests. So simple was it. I was watching Gocha. He was checking his 5, and the South player lost the ball. He could just as easily have seen the South player play the ball, and the game could have gone on. Differential penalty. Squadrito, Hambley, hard and fast. Nephew of former Australian and South Sydney great Brian Hambley. Simpkins, 5 metres inside the 22. Souths are looking good. Walsh. Charlie Frith. Murray. There's a chip to the corner for Nescott, who's coming fast. And Brennan got a hand to it. And Gibbs is tackled. There's the siren. Half-time. South leading 11 points to 8 in a most exciting second semi-final. I hope in quarter of the second semi-final in the 1981 Tooth Cup. And South lead 11-8 as we resume now the third quarter or second half of this game. Niscott. Charlie Frith. Murray. Gibbs. Penalty against Boyd. We were entertained between the Commonwealth Bank Cup and the Tooth Cup tonight, and again just now at half-time by a couple of more of the Rugby League cheer squad girls. My goodness, they've put a lot of work into their acts, and they're competing for the first prize money of $1,000 from Tooth and Company in the cheer squad championships for 1981 in conjunction with the Tooth Cup. And on behalf of all the girls, a big thank you to Tooth and Company for recognising their presence in Rugby League. I tell you what, it's totally captivated this audience between the breaks here tonight. Brennan, midway between 22 and halfway, Manly's end of the ground. Murray. Gibbs. Very dangerous man, Gibbs. Murray. Frith. That's Quadrito. Now it's Murray. Cuts out Simpkins, picks up Brennan. Brennan again is proving unstoppable. He's beaten at least 4 of them. He's beaten 5 of them and has scored. My goodness, that's an individual effort and a half. That's a brilliant try by Mitch Brennan. To say nothing of the defence from Manly, but the man has just done it all. I think he beat 5. Count them, Keith.
Well, it's easy enough to count. It was a sensational try, and it came from nothing because it looked as if he was taken on 3 occasions, but he's a very, very deceptive runner, and he's able to shrug off tackles. He's got, you know, he's able to bounce. He palms off Thompson there, steps inside Gibbs, palms off, it looked like Teasdale, and then he's gone over in another tackle.
I counted he actually beat 5 and took a 6 with him.
Yeah, well, I thought he was going to be stopped on each occasion, but, you know, he was very forceful in the dressing room, speaking after South's coach Billy Anderson, emphasising the importance of this third quarter, and he's done it all himself. It's a tremendous try. And, gee, he just went through one after the other. It, you know, it's easy enough to turn and say that it was some feeble defence by Manly, but I'd sooner give all the credit to Brennan for the power and the deceptiveness of his running. He stepped inside Gibbs, left him standing, palmed off another player, and, you know, just give all the credit to Brennan. It was a superb individual try.
You certainly won't see better than that. With Ross to take the kick 5 metres in from touch, trying to extend the lead. He's unsuccessful again. South, though, with 4 tries to 2, are leading by 14 points to 8. Well, that's as good an individual try as you'd see. And there'd be a warm feeling inside that man at the moment. Bill Anderson, the South's coach. Could well be a golden try, you know, when you think about it, but every time I say that, it finishes up. It's hexing the bloke.
There hasn't been a better individual effort.
Niscott plays it. I think he's going to get the man in possession here. He is. Stewart. Well, I don't know whether Stewart was provoked or what happened there. I think sufficient to say, though, when you're in possession, the last thing you do is become involved in an altercation and give away a penalty.
Never squander away possession.
If Dorahy kicks it, here's the incident again. Let's have a look at it. Stewart is the man tackled. Yes, he let go with two, as you saw. He didn't like the way Warren Jowett made the tackle, and looking at it, I think you'll find that John Gosher was right. John Dorahy now has got this attempted penalty. Is he the third kicker that South have used? Manly have used? Is he number 3 or number 2?
No, number 2. I think Edie took the first couple.
Right.
And then Dorahy landed that conversion of Steve Martin's try.
The wounded Eagles watching the match tensely. But Dorahy, if he kicks this, will bring Manly back to only 4 points in arrears. And you know what that means? A converted try would see them in front. The South fans reaching a crescendo of raspberries. Dorahy, not perturbed, just floats it through for 2 points. And 14-10 the scoreline. 2 from 2 for Dorahy. Joe Cool.
He's probably just a player to set them alight too, if he's able to chime in from the back there. Brilliant attacking player in the mood. And, you know, a big effort now could be just what Manly needs.
6.5 minutes gone, third quarter. Here he is now, Dorahy. 14-10 to South. Jowett. Ooh, big hit from Charlie Frith. He just launches himself at them.
Well, he certainly loves a player that runs straight at him.
Thompson turning it, Broadhurst losing it. South ball, is it? No. Still with Broadhurst. Brown got a pass down to Gibbs. Gibbs taken by Stewart. Brown, Thompson, Burton, Dorahy, Davis. Thompson, a lot of passing, but going nowhere. Broadhurst.
South's defence just kept covering, didn't they?
Next week's Commonwealth Bank Cup semi-final, I beg your pardon, next week's Commonwealth Bank final, I should say, will be played between Fairfield Patrician Brothers and Holy Cross Ride. Something tells me they've met before. Incorrect feed by Gibbs.
I think he was pretty hopeful there.
That Commonwealth Bank Cup final, by the way, kicks off at 5:30, 5:30 next Wednesday at Leichhardt, a slightly earlier start, so we can fit in the entertainment that goes with Cup final night. Their third meeting in a Cup final, is it? Squadrito. Tunks, Murray, Simpkins, Brennan's with him. Shrugs off Boyd. Tackled by Gibbs and by Thompson. 10 metres from the line. Robert Simpkins playing it. Charlie Frith. Tony Rampling getting ready to come on for Souths. He'll wear jumper number 18. Murray, Squadrito. Squad Rito to within 2 metres. Murray, the little general. Niscott. The end of 6 in the scrum.
Those two sides, Fairfield, Patrician and Holy Cross Ride, will be both going into their 3rd cup final, not necessarily against one another. My apologies. That'll be a tremendous match at 5:30 to start the cup final entertainment.
That's a brave decision by South Sydney coach Billy Anderson to replace Hembley with Rampling. I know Rampling's a talented player, but Hembley's also had a big impact on this game.
Gorton. I think I'm right in suggesting to you this is Manly's 2nd cup semi-final. They made the semis the very first year and were beaten up at Orange by Western Division, who went on to win the first cup back in '74. The way it's going at the moment, they're still not going to make that elusive cup final. Mark Ross, his team leading by 4 points. Gibbs. Rampling. Ooh, that was heavy. Boyd, the chief Manly tackler. Murray, Metcalf. I know there's been a lot of big efforts out there for South tonight, but little Artie, Graham Murray's played a very big part in just about everything. Stewart picking up Murray now. Picked up by Brennan. Not again. He's off again, Brennan. On the inside, picks up Simpkins. Floats the pass forward. Forward pass to Niscott. Brilliant piece of South Sydney football. Probably deserving of a try, but very good refereeing by John Gosha.
Yes,
Let's see it on the disc.
He was in a perfect position to pick it up, but it was bad luck for Souths because it was just marginally forward, and a great break here by Murray. Good pass infielder Murray. And here we see Brennan back into the fray again. He's breaking one tackling. He actually gets away from Dorahy here too. And then he throws the pass to Simpkins, and Simpkins is the player that floats it across and just marginally forward to Niscott. Otherwise, I do feel that South Sydney would have wrapped it up there and then.
I must admit to you, I thought the pass from Brennan inside to Simpkins was just a fraction forward as well. But there's no doubt the final pass was forward, and as I said, Gosha perfectly positioned to rule on it. Manly still behind by only the 4 points, and they've got about 28 minutes to come back. Jowett. Gibbs. Broadhurst. Picked up. Who is it, Martin? Yep. Been very quiet, Gibbs, hasn't he?
I'm just going to say the same thing. He's been well controlled this evening. He hasn't really opened up, though, has he?
Sort of half waiting for him to do something. Here's Martin. Now Davis. That's the halfway line, just on the right of your screen, if you've got a big screen. There it is now.
That's the type of player Johnny Gibbs is, though. You've just got to watch him all the time, because when he does open up, he's electrifying, and invariably something comes of it. So I'm sure that the South Sydney players are aware of that fact, and they'll keep a close eye on him all through the remainder of this game.
Stevie Martin, I suppose, remembering vividly the last time he kicked the line and failed to find it, resulting in a South try. Oh, Warren Jowett heading for the ground in a big hurry under Charlie Frith. Vorton's put it down. That's a knock on. Oh, that's a bad ruling. The ball was definitely propelled forward. Thompson. Oh, and again Frith goes in. You can almost feel the bones rattling around. Gibbs, Martin, a chip for Dorahy. Dorahy's been taken out of the play, but referee Gosha saw it and said he'd put his name down for an academy. Ross is tackled on the 22. I'll tell you what, Keith, if the cup finals
as good as this, it will be a super game.
Well, it will be, because both of these teams have got a match on their hands against Cronulla. They're in superb form at the moment.
This is Simpkins. Manly to play Cronulla on Sunday at Endeavour Field. They could be meeting up with the same opponents next Wednesday, but not just at the moment they won't be. Rampling. 12 metres out from the 22. Last tackle for the Rabbits. Murray just grub kicking to find the touchline, a metre on his own side of halfway. We'll have as our guest at three-quarter time Bill Oxley, who is the president of the English Rugby League. He's here in Australia for a brief period of time on his way back from Papua New Guinea. Delightful man. Calls a spade a spade. Steve Walsh. Oh, and Boyd went in with a shoulder charge. The crowd didn't like it. Gosha saw it. Murray. That's Squadrito. When I said Gosha saw it, he ruled it a legitimate hit by Boyd. Gibbs looking to puncture that Manly line out wide. 5 minutes to go to the third quarter break. Tunks now. Little pop of a pass from Murray to Rampling. Last tackle coming up for the Rabbits. Murray calling the tune, switching it to Frith. He's got Squadrito on his left, but Vorton cuts him down. 15, almost 16 gone, third quarter. Saturday, our big game telecast for 10 viewers in Sydney is Eastern Suburbs and North Sydney. Incidentally, Sunday's another big match, a very big match. In fact, I think it's the match of the weekend. Parramatta and Western Suburbs at Cumberland. That is a match that
they've lost the ball. No, he hasn't. I thought Doherty lost it from him.
That match, Western Para, is a match that I know Dennis Fitzgerald is going to promote quite heavily. You'll hear more about it in the next few days. It'll be a great game, that match at Cumberland on Sunday.
Manly forwards stand very flat at the moment and not presenting too many problems to Souths.
Thompson, Martin, Squadrito proving a very, very handy substitute. Doherty, beautiful pass to Booth, and he's been
a good tackle by Brennan that time.
Absolutely bottled up ball and all by Brennan. Mooney. (14-10) South leading, 3 minutes to go, third quarter. I wonder what's going through the minds of the Cronulla players and their coach. They're all here tonight watching teams that they're certain, or it seems almost certain, they're going to play in the next 7 days. 6 differential penalties in the match, 5 of them are gone against Manly. Ray Ritchie, the Manly coach. As Tony Rampling absolutely busts them wide open. Oh, what a charge. Ecstasy for those red, white and green supporters.
It certainly was, and I wonder what those 4 Manly replacement forwards are thinking now. Certainly Billy Anderson knew what he was doing when he replaced Hamley with Rampling, even if it was only just for that one real powerhouse burst that's probably wrapped up the game for the Rabbitohs.
Rampling on the rampage. Doherty must have almost had a nightmare when he saw him coming.
He's standing a long way back too, because he took him right on the line.
Yeah, but I think he was entitled to think that somebody up in front of him was going to make a better fist of what they were trying to do.
Yes, well, you know what happened to Thorpe, don't you? That was the unfortunate part. I don't think I've ever seen a forward go through a ruckus cleanly as that from a tap penalty.
Well, that puts it now very much in favour of the red, white and greens, and a disappointed Mark Ross as he jogs back. He's got an awful goal-kicking readout tonight, 1 from 6. But I don't think the youngster need be too concerned at the moment. His team now is in a much more comfortable zone, leading 17-10. Walsh and Iscott. What an incredible game this rugby league is. 5 tries to 2 Manly beat Souths on Saturday. And here we are with Souths leading 17-10. And they've scored 5 tries to 2. Now Boyd, no, it's Jowett. Jowett being spoken to by Gosha. Let's see it again if we can. Whilst Souths prepare for the penalty. The hit was on Charlie Frith. Les Boyd went in low. Jowett went whooshka. And Gosha said, I'll give a penalty to Souths. Here's the siren. And here's the tap for Souths. The Stewart runs it. And that's the end of 3/4 of rugby league. And I think you'd agree, very entertaining rugby league. 17 points to 10 in favour of the Rabbits, and that crowd loving every moment of it. Quarter coming up now in the second semi-final to see which side goes on to meet Cronulla in next Wednesday's cup final. Tunks. Wayne Springall is on for Manly in 17. Rampling. Murray. Metcalf. Gibbs. Picking up on a South mistake. Paul Vorton is the player off for Springall. Now Gibbs. Thompson switching it to Martin. Ran into a real rabbit trap, didn't he? Charlie Frith waiting for him. South's a penalty. Well, he's pinched the man in possession, about to play the ball. Let's see it on the disc if we can, whilst South take this kick for line. Comes right back down to a penalty that was given against Ken Stewart in the 3rd quarter. Ridiculous for the attacking player to become involved in any part of an altercation, although I don't think Mark Broadhurst went as far as what Ken Stewart did. Squadrito. Frith, South leading 17-10. He's had a big game, Charlie. Tunks. Bill Anderson, the South coach, is on the sidelines. I suppose he'd be almost able to take the commentary with Keith Barnes now.
Yes, Billy, well, I know you're on edge. Did you get the result in that 3rd quarter that you were looking for?
Well, the result we were looking for, Keith, was to keep them trialists. We did do that, but they're still in the game. But we did keep them trialists in that quarter, and that's what we tried to do.
I thought you took a bit of a gamble and put Rampling on in place of Hambley, but I know you've got a big opinion of him. And he certainly came up trumps, didn't he, with that try?
Oh, yes. Tony was always going to go on in that 3rd quarter. It was just a matter of who he was going to replace. I was happy with Gary, but I felt that Tony might be able to tighten things up for us. He was a bit fresher when he went on.
I know you've got a healthy respect for the attacking ability of Manly. Any special instructions to the Souths after that 3rd quarter?
Oh, no, just not to fall off in tackles, Keith, that's all. If you get to the man, you've just got to make sure of the tackle.
Well, you've certainly put a lot of polish on Souths this year, and there's been 5 great tries, and they're going to be hard to beat from here. Thanks, Billy, for your time. Good luck.
Oh, that's a good pass by Broadhurst to Gibbs, and a try scored by the second rower, Fred Teasdale. Well, just as well we got Bill Anderson off. He might have said a couple of colourful adjectives. I don't know him that well, but this was a funny try. It's probably going to show up better on the head-on. Big Charlie went in and made a tackle on Ray Brown, and then all of a sudden Mark Broadhurst came out the other side of the tunnel, and then to Gibbs, and then to Teasdale. And Manly, if they convert this, are right back in the ball game. Brown gave it to Jowett. Jowett got rid of Rampling. It went across the face of Boyd, and then Charlie Frith's tackle saw Broadhurst come ricocheting out the other side to pop it up to Gibbs to give it to Teasdale. I think that's a fairly accurate account of what happened. Let's see it. I was going to say let's have a look at it again, but we're back with John Dorahy for a most important attempt at conversion. They're only 4 points behind now, but obviously the conversion would put them to the point, Manly, where they can win with a try. The travesty of all this is Souths have scored 5 tries to 3. Dorahy, 2 out of 2 so far. He sliced it. No goal. The Rabbits breathe again. 17-13. We've got 15 minutes to go. Gee, I must apologise for this voice tonight. It's giving me a pain in the you-know-what, and probably you too, but I can only apologise. That's all I can do. 5.5 gone, final quarter. Dorahy, Davis. Manly, by the way, I'm told in the last couple of days have signed Newcastle centre Phil Carey for the 1982 season. It's a big, big purchase from Macquarie United. That's front page in Rugby League Week this week, as a matter of fact. Oh, Jowett putting down a valuable ball. Brennan in possession now. Up goes Charlie Frith. Murray, Squadrito, Metcalf. Thompson picking Metcalf up. Stewart. That's the Manly quarter line, you see. Metcalf. He's passed. Not regret that. Gibbs. Gosha's gone for a base over apex. Brown. South's defence swarming over the top of Manly. Manly leading by 4 points. 13 minutes of the match remaining. Mooney away from Brennan and Murray. Chased by Brennan, who makes the tackle eventually. That's Gibbs. Thompson. That's Teasdale. Charlie Frith again in the tackle. He's rating very highly on my man of the match card, I'll tell you, Charlie Frith. I might add, in amongst a lot of good players. Steve Walsh now. Next Wednesday night, as I said earlier, a big night for all. The spectators haven't been forgotten, with those 13 ground prizes from National Panasonic and Easterways Air Conditioning of Artarmon. Plus that, the players will be kicking footballs off into the crowd as they do a lap of honour prior to the game. The cheer squad girls will be here competing for the prize money supplied by Tooth and Company. A sea of colour and a big night next Wednesday. Tony Rampling. It's a funny old play, the ball, but it's a penalty to Souths against the marker. Now these penalties are creeping up into an unsatisfactory region for Ray Ritchie to be happy. 13-7 against his team. There's only been 8 scrums decided in this match tonight. 5-3 to Manly. When there's few scrums, the game always seems to be played at a cracking pace, doesn't it?
Yes, well, it certainly has this one anyhow, and it hasn't slackened from the opening minutes.
Murray's calling it. That's him. Now Squadrito. Ray Brown, the tackler. That's Murray. Here's Brennan. Gibbs now, 10 metres out. Brennan hits the line in kamikaze form. Ross. Oh, he's taken it into touch.
I don't think he had much option, did he, with those 3 Manly players there?
True, but then again, he probably shouldn't have been anywhere near the touchline.
Mitch Brennan has caused the Manly defence havoc, hasn't he? Each time he's got the ball, he's made tremendous yardage.
Murray pulled down by Gibbs. 3 metres from the line. Squadrito. Niscott on the charge. South's getting another replacement ready to come on. Gibbs pulled down 2 metres out. An ugly play of the ball.
Yes, but look at the penalty is.
16 going out for Souths. Shane O'Neill and Nathan Gibbs is coming off.
See, that was a crucial penalty, wasn't it? That one, a very vital one for Manly to give away, certainly under a lot of pressure, and that forced them into a situation where they gave the penalty away. But
can we see it again, that play the ball, or is it gone?
2 points here edges them to 6 points in front, and you know, that's a very, very healthy margin now with only 9 minutes remaining.
Here it is.
No doubt, was there?
No. Mark Ross with the simplest, I think, of all his kicks tonight. And Souths lead by 6 points. 19-13. 9 minutes to go. Manly seemingly out of the running now. Steve Walsh putting it down. Knocked backward, said the referee. O'Neill. Stewart. Murray. Squadrito. Tunks. Frith. Murray. Niscott's coming fast on the outside. Murray's run right away from them. Picked up this young man Rampling, who picks up Brennan. Brennan taken from behind and passes to Thompson. Oh, what a game Murray's had, and Brennan, and about half a dozen others. There's a penalty has gone to Manly for an intentional forward pass, which I failed to pick up. The South Sydney crowd tonight, and I'll tell you what, I've got to say it, they must outnumber Manly 10-1 if some of the receptions they've given Gosha are any indication. I think he's refereed a good match, Gosha, by the same token.
Yes, he certainly has. It hasn't been an easy game to control. There's been plenty of movement of the ball, and it's been played at a cracking pace.
Steve Martin going down under the tackle of Shane O'Neill. Time running out for the Eagles. 6.5 minutes to go. A brilliant win on Saturday. 5 tries to 2. And here they are against the same team looking down a 5-3 deficit on the try list.
Yes, but I suppose it is fair to say that they haven't got the same team on the field. And, you know, it's a big thing when you turn and have to replace 4 key forwards. And that's certainly not taking anything away from South Sydney, because they've played great football out there this evening, and there's a lot of quality in the Manly replacements, and you certainly can't take anything away from the performance of South Sydney out there this evening.
Dorahy, chased by Brennan, given to Martin. Beautiful tackle near Scott. Springall takes it ahead. Manly needing points. Boyd runs blindside. Gibbs, Jowett, Martin, Booth. Pulled down by Brennan. Pardon me. Thompson. Teasdale tackle. Long ball from Brown to Dorahy. Around Squadrito. Around Niscott. Brown touched by Souths. Knock on against them. Souths 19-13 with the tap on the Manly 22. Mooney's off, Clanton's on for Manly as Frith takes it ahead. Tunks now. 10 metres from the Manly line. Brennan's come in close on the outside of Murray. That's Murray. I don't think I've heard a more excitable crowd than this one. Simpkins at cup matches anyway. Squadrito. Drop goal. Off a Manly player. Back to Tunks. Away to Brennan. Can he do it again? Niscott on the inside. Picks up Shane O'Neill. That's a try. Good stuff from South. Oh, look at this. Look at the Rabbit fans. Reckon they're not happy. Been a long time between drinks. It's been a long time between drinks, but when they get their teeth into the Sharks, I guess they'll be just a fraction, probably just a fraction more hungry or thirsty. Shane O'Neill off a Ziggy Niscott pass, putting the seal on the South Sydney semi-final victory. 22 points to 13, 6 tries to 3. There it is again. Rebounding off a Manly player who went in on a charge down mission. Brennan did well. Niscott does better. O'Neill does it all. Missing an L, that Shane O'Neill. Ross converts. The Rabbitohs 24. The Eagles 13. I'll tell you who's been the biggest winner here tonight, and has been used a hell of a lot of times. Rugby league.
Oh, yes. 9 great tries, and, you know, it's been a credit to both teams. Full marks to Souths. You know, they looked as if they were in all sorts of troubles in the first 5 minutes in the game, when Manly started off like world beaters, as if they were going to crush them and continue where they left off on Saturday. And indeed, they ran in that first 3-pointer in the first few minutes. But then, to South's credit, they picked themselves up, came back with a good try by Nathan Gibbs, which got them on the road to recovery, and they went from strength to strength.
Mackey is on for South, and I think you'll find that Fenich, I think that's how you pronounce his name, Fenich is also on for South, is he not? Mario Fenich. So, the cup final will be played between Souths and Cronulla here next Wednesday night. And it should be a super match. This eruption following the tackle on the whiz kid, Steve Martin. Kemper's fraying at the end of a grueling game of rugby league. Played beautifully this game. But South will play Cronulla next Wednesday night. What is that? Oh, it's Gary Hamley. Hello, Gary. With ground prizes for the spectators. The teams will be kicking the footballs off into the crowd. The marching or the cheer squad girls will be here in their final competition. The lanky Yank has got a smile on his face like a split watermelon. Oh, it's been a big night for the Rabbits, who must have come here tonight with their confidence dulled. There's Boyd. There's the siren. South Sydney have marched into the cup final for 1981. Their first visit to the cup final. They play Cronulla Sutherland, and they've put behind them teams such as Parramatta and St George. And I hasten to add, they made the quarterfinals on the percentage basis only. 24-13 is your scoreline readout. Their captain, Mitch Brennan, must be a very happy man as he takes his team back to the dressing rooms. I'll be back on the other side of these